Right, today we're going to be making finger steaks. We got leftover gravy. This is sausage gravy from doing biscuits and gravy. And since the kids aren't here to eat with me, my recipes are making extra leftovers lately. So we have about 2 cups of leftover gravy. This is going to be sausage gravy. Oh, that's so good. Oh, anyway, after I stopped drooling about having sausage gravy again, we have 1 pound of frozen corn. Let's get that cooking on the back burner here. I submerged it in cold water. There we go. Churn that on. And this gravy here, we're going to put on the back burner also and heat this up over a low heat. Oh, wrong burner. Heat this up over a flame, low heat, till it's good bubbly hot. Okay, we also have leftover beer, so we're going to be doing beer batter finger steaks today. This has got to be the red and white can. You know which one I'm talking about, or it doesn't taste right. I've tried it with all the others, and it just doesn't taste right. This has been in my fridge in this sealed container here for about a month, so let's pop the top and see if it still fizzes. Yep, still good. I only buy this to make spaghetti. My husband loves beer spaghetti on his birthday because that's the way his mom always made it. All right, so let's put that aside for a minute and we'll get going here. We're also going to be making mashed potatoes to go with that gravy and those finger steaks. So we have 8 russet potatoes here. Scrub these really good if you're going to leave the peels on like I do. In a pan half full of cold water. It has to be cold water or they will turn brown. So dice these up just roughly. They don't have to be pretty. They just got to be diced up so you can boil them. And I just cut them in half and then do thinner strips going like this. So they'll cook kind of quickly. There you go. And put those in the water so they don't turn brown while we're waiting to cut the rest, while we're getting the rest of these cut up. And we cut them really thin slice like this too. It helps get that peel into smaller pieces. This peel has so much nutrient in it. You don't want to have to peel your potatoes, but if they're green or yucky, then go ahead and peel them. But if they look pretty like these do, with no sprouts coming out, no spots, and no green stuff, then you can use the peel. Okay, then after you get these all diced and put in this cold water, give them another rinse. Is all this, look at all this excess starch that came off those. I scrubbed these really good before I cut them. That's all the excess starch coming off of those. So we're going to quickly drain this out and refill it with cold water again. Make sure it's cold water. There we go. Now we're going to put the potatoes on this side of the stove here. Turn those on to high to start boiling. And we're going to add about 2 teaspoons worth of salt to our water here. There we go. Okay, so let's get something to stir that gravy so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Ew, I hate using that one. Hold on. There we go. You want to stir this so it doesn't get cooked to the bottom, even though we got it on low. I went to the store to get butter, and I found sirloin steak marked down half price. This is regularly $10.69, and I got it 50% off. So I got it for $5.35. Oh my gosh, that's a good deal for meat for the dinner. So I forgot the butter because I got so excited. I found something to eat with my leftover gravy because I don't like my leftovers going to waste. I forgot the dang butter. So how are we going to make all of this food without butter? I don't have butter for the corn. I don't have butter for the potatoes. We're going to improvise. I do have olive oil and bacon grease if we need it. All right, so open up this package here. But first, let's get our pan heating up with our oil because we don't want this to take too awfully long. We're just going to scoot that corn back. Make sure that's on the center of the burner. And I have peanut oil here that whenever I use peanut oil for frying burritos or something or pork chops, I strain it And then I pour it into a container and I use it a few times until it gets dirty. And if you just pour that nice and slow, all that thick stuff down at the bottom will stay there. Oops, see, and I tipped it back and messed that all up. Now the rest of that needs to go into the garbage, or you could use a paper towel. You don't want to wash that down your sink. All right, let's see if that's enough oil to be able to fry our particular, I don't know. I'm going to have to tip it a little here. Oh, yes, that's perfect. So you want about a ½ inch of oil. A ½ inch to an inch will be fine. Got this oil heating up. You got your potatoes coming to a boil. You got your corn starting to steam. And you got your gravy over here on, better turn that down to a little bit lower heat, because we're not going to be very attentive for the next few minutes. Okay, we're going to need a fillet knife, something real thin and real sharp. So we got 1 egg, oh, and an eggshell, dang it. 1 eggshell and 1 egg into your bowl over here. We're going to chop this steak and place it right back onto here until we're ready for it. Now, we're just going to cut it in half, and we're going to cut right down this fat line here, because I don't like that chewy stuff. This is sirloin steak. It has chewy fat. That's so chewy. There we go. And there you go. Okay, then once you get them cut like that, you can stack them all up so that they're all lengthways like this here. And then you're just going to make an invisible line. Oh, that first one was kind of thin. You want these to be, oh, what is that, a ½ inch? Just a little under a ½ inch, I think. And just slice it. Nice and slow, because this is a real sharp knife. And if it sticks, just put your finger right at the side and just drag it back through. And that helps so you don't get your pile all uneven and have to cut them all individually. Not sure that one went through. Yep, it did. There you go. So about 1 finger width wide. Look at that. Just don't accidentally cut your finger on the way out. That would really suck. Yeah, that's probably why they're called finger steaks. Because you almost lose a finger when you're trying to measure with your finger. Yeah, I'm so funny. I make myself laugh. That's all that matters. All right, there we go. Now, stick these in there. And wash your cutting board, because yuck. Oh, okay, now let's get cooking. We got 1 egg in here, which we need to lightly fluff with a fork. There's that blessed melatonin spot in my chicken egg. Apparently, if you're Jewish, it's illegal for you to take this out. It's a blessed egg. It's a melatonin spot. I have lavender chickens, or lavender Orpington chickens, and she lays brown eggs. But every single one of her eggs has this blessed Jewish spot. Look at that weird thing. Now that I made a big mess and sacrilegious our food, I've unblessed it by taking that out of there. We can carry on with the rest of this. Let's give that gravy a little stir while we're waiting, though. Okay. And I think my oil's starting to get hot because I can smell it. So I'm going to turn that down to a medium to get heated up here. All right, we are going to need 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt, so I always do just a slight heaping teaspoon of salt, because it takes a little bit longer. It takes just a touch more than the table salt. 1 teaspoon of pepper. I like my pepper. I also do a heaping teaspoon of pepper. And 1 teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. And the kids aren't here, so we'll do just a slight bit more of that too. And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda. This helps soften the meat and helps the breading adhere to the meat also. Okay. And now we're going to need some beer or milk. You can also use milk for this if you don't want to use beer. Buttermilk would be super awesome too, or you can make your own buttermilk by mixing in some lemon juice and letting it sit for a minute. 1/2 cup of liquid of some kind. You could even use water if you don't have anything on hand. It's still going to turn out great. Not as great, but still great. 1/2 cup of liquid. Making me hungry. You just cap that beer and save that aside. That's still enough to make spaghetti. Look at that. Oh, now it makes me want spaghetti. I am just hungry, I'm telling you. Well, obviously, you always cook dinner when you're getting hungry. If you weren't hungry, then why would you cook? Especially when the kids aren't here. The kids are at Mom's house for the summer. Yep. Add in your steak. And get that all coated. Okay, then you're going to add 1 cup of flour. Ooh, there we go. Oh, look at that. I didn't make a mess. Oh, not yet anyway. And now carefully keep stir and turn and stir and turn until everything's good and coated. And coating it. And you could even mix the flour in before you put the steak in. I've done it that way before too. It turns out exactly the same. Every now and then you have to add just a dash more liquid to get this batter going though, because the steak sometimes has a lot of liquid and sometimes not. And I think today is that day where we got to add that couple drip. And it is a little tiny bit. Yep, we just need like 1 more drip. Like not more than a tablespoon. Yeah. You can tell that it's a little too thick because you can still see way too much of the meat. That's why. There you go. And now, mix this around until everything's all gooey and coated on all sides. I've seen so many people make finger steaks one at a time. That is a ridiculous amount of work. And not that I think it's terrible. It's just a ridiculous amount of work. All right. Here we go. I need a spoon, don't I? I think so. Okay, that's how it should look. Right there, where all the meat is pretty much covered. But if it's not, you can just kind of flip it and do it like that there. There you go. Good and sticky. Okay, now we're just gonna, I used a very large bowl on purpose for this. So if you kind of spread it out just a little bit, it's easier to grab these out here. Okay, let's see if our oil's hot enough. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of liquid and drop it in there. If it bubbles up, it's ready. That is not quite ready, so let's turn that up. Give this gravy a stir. Ooh, just about there. It's hot, hot, hot. Hot, hot, hot. I left the spoon way too close to the burner, I guess. Ooh, yup. Hot, hot, hot. And once these potatoes start boiling, we're going to set a timer for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to check them. But usually it takes 12 minutes. I do live in a higher elevation They're just about there. So I'm going to go ahead and do 11 minutes. Give them that extra little time. And if it starts spotting out of your pan, then turn your temperature down just a little bit. Okay, let's see if that oil's good and hot now. Oh, yes, I think we're ready. Get some tongs out here. I guess we could use the fork, but I don't know. I've just always used tongs. And then you just grab one piece of meat at a time. Just carefully. Right off the edge, so it doesn't scrape all the batter off when you pick it up. And just make sure they don't touch each other when you stick it in. Oh, we should get something to drain these on too, because man, do they cook quick. Yeah, they do. Oops, dropped a little bit. There you go. Ooh, yep. Cooking quick. I'm going to turn this down a little bit and grab something to drain these out on. You just want something like this for when they are done. And I'm just going to grab another fork, start turning these, and I just turned my oil temperature down because, man, these are cooking way too fast. Way too quick. I'd like to be able to get 10 or 12 of them in there before you have to turn. Otherwise, you're just sitting here turning. It's like making donuts. You got to work quick. Yep, and you could just keep dipping them in there at any time. You don't have to wait till each batch is done, because as soon as these are done, they're going to be a dark brown, and you'll know which ones are cooked and which ones aren't. Ooh, that one's touching a little. Ooh, I think those are about done. Let's see. Perfect. They cook quick because of how thin those steaks are. Yup, yup, yup. Yep, I would say that one's done. That one's done. Oh, my potatoes are boiling good now. I'm going to turn those down just a little bit. Oh, yeah, that one's done. You want to be real careful not to get this oil too hot, or you won't be able to reach in here to grab them. Flip it, and flip it, flip it. Take that piece out. Ooh. Oh. And take that piece out. I might need a new tool other than a dang fork. A sparter is definitely recommended. I will get mine out here in just a second. You gotta have the right tools for the right job. It's like trying to use a pocket knife or a Phillips screwdriver over here, which I occasionally do. Now, if some of it isn't coated when you go to pick it up, you just get to the bottom of the pan right there, and then just kind of stir it a little bit. Give it a little extra batter right before you pick it up. You think those dark enough yet? I don't know. I think so. Look at me. I went and found myself a screwdriver. I think those are done. You just want this golden to dark brown. That does make a lot less work. Look at that. Yeah, I'm finally getting smart. Then those are going to be ready to turn. And if you do these in too deep of oil, then they try to float and they won't let you turn them. Ooh, our corn's finally boiling. And let's give that gravy a stir and see where we're at here. That was pretty cold because it came out of the fridge. Oh, I think that's plenty good. Let's see if it's hot. How do you tell if it's hot? You touch it. Not quite, but oh man, that's good. Room temperature gravy that tastes that good. Yeah. Makes me just want to take another bite of that gravy. You know, I think I didn't have lunch today. I missed lunch. I had cheese and a beer. That's what I had. That is not a great lunch. Just wasn't filling up to cooking. Or eating, for that matter. I had leftover soup in there too. Oh, I should have been dropping some more, but I got sidetracked. Okay, let's get some more of these in here. If you've ever ordered finger steaks at a restaurant, I don't know if you guys even have finger steaks at restaurants. We only have 2 restaurants here in town that still do finger steaks. A classic, yummy, delicious meal. Nobody knows how to cook them right anymore. That should be about done. Let's see here. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah. I think I can get some more in here before it's time to flip those. They cook so quick, man. It's just like doing donuts. If you've ever done donuts, you got to do it 1 minute per side. It is impossible to do more than 2 or 3 at a time. Hey, baby.
Washing it up here, huh?
Oh no, I dropped my grippers in there. Yep.
You in between scenes real quick? You can take a peek?
Oh, give me, not really. I'm having to, okay. Okay. Just tell it to wait for me. Ooh, my potatoes are getting close to checking them. Okay, real quick to test those potatoes, we're just going to grab a spoon here and then push them up against the side of the pan. And if they kind of break apart with the back of your spoon, they're ready. And these are not. I turned them down too low. Okay, a few more minutes on those. Oh, I don't know, maybe 4 more minutes actually. I turned those down way low. Give that gravy another stir here. There we go. Did I not turn that one? I don't think so. I almost missed one. Just look at how beautiful and dark colored these get after you take them off. Look at the difference. They're so good. Let's taste one. I've never tried these with beer batter. Oh yeah. Super good. I couldn't really tell you that the beer made a big difference, though. It tastes the same as when I do it with milk. Actually, no, it's a little bit more lighter and crustier, or crispier for the breading. Actually tastes more like a tempura. A good tempura with seasoning. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, I wish I would have been thinking, because onion rings, oh yeah, I can't do onion rings and steak and still use your leftover gravy. Nope, I'll have to just hope they got more steak on sale so we can do that again next week. Anyway, before I rudely interrupted myself, I was just thinking, I'll bet you that's a good recipe for doing onion rings, too. That's a really good batter mix for an onion ring. Just gonna start.
Down south, honey, they spell beer batter differently than us.
Huh?
There's a Y at the end of it down that way.
There's a Y at the end.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Beer battery.
Beer battery.
Well, yeah, you drink too much beer, you get yourself a battery.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. Get a little extra batter on these last ones here so we don't waste what's in there. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all she wrote. Alright, let's check these potatoes. Let's see, we want them to be just, not burn yourself. There we go. We want them to squish apart real easily when you push them up against the side of the pan there. See all those little bits? Okay, those are done. We're going to turn this off, but we're going to wait till we pull these finger steaks out before we go drain this. Yep, those are done. Alright, turn that oil off. Ooh, our corn is done too. Turn off that corn. I love it when everything gets done cooking at the exact right time. There we go. You do not want to have to be reaching over the top of that oil. Okay, drain off these potatoes. It's hot, onion mitts. Okay, now you're going to want to add a half a stick of butter and 2 cups of milk to this pot. And we're just going to let our potatoes rest in the strainer in the sink for just a second while they drain. We're going to bring this up to a very hot temperature. But you know I'm out of butter. But I do have olive oil. Thank God for olive oil. You could even use coconut oil. You want about a half a cup, which is 1 stick of butter. Right, you can't have too much olive oil in anything, because that's just good. And then you're going to want 1 teaspoon of salt. You just want to get this really, really warm just before boiling, which is called scalding. We're scalding the milk, but the only purpose for this is to make it so your potatoes aren't cold when you serve them. Let's check that gravy. It's steaming. I think we're hot enough. There's only one way to tell how hot it is, and that's to put it on your mouth. You touch it. Nope, not hot enough yet. Okay, we better kick that up. Get this dinner going, because we're almost done. Okay, we are bubbling. That means we are hot. Now turn this milk off. And carefully add your potatoes. You don't want to just plop them in there. You'll burn yourself with boiling milk. Yep. Carefully. Just add them all right to the middle. Right there. So they start landing on top of themselves. And then they don't splash. And don't make fun of my strainer. It's an old strainer. All right, now you stir this up just a little bit so that all your potatoes get a little bit of that goodness. And this gravy's on high, so I got to make sure not to let it burn now. Get yourself one of these things, or those little meat mashers work really good too, or an electric mixer. I usually use an electric mixer, but I just don't want to dig it out today. Ooh, I may have went a bit heavy on the olive oil. Yeah, I'm not sure this works as good as the meat chopper thing. Let's check the meat chopper thing. Oh, and don't forget to stir the gravy. There we go. There we go. This works really good for mashing bananas and there we go. You know when you've mashed it enough because then it's not liquidy anymore. Feels like you're stabbing somebody. This is good for finishing it off, but I would recommend the potato masher to start. If they just made a bigger one of these, man, that'd be like your all-in-one tool. But then it wouldn't fit in a jar for doing squishing peanuts. And our gravy's boiling. Turn it off as we are ready to eat. just before. Oh, man. Yes. Okay, we're going to drain this corn. I mostly drain this corn. Now we're going to drizzle it with a touch of olive oil and some salt and pepper. I love buttered corn. I've never had olive oil on my corn. It's going to be good, I promise. And my tummy just growled. I'm telling you. I was like, that does sound good. My tummy said, yes, it does. So, to serve this up, you can do big pile of mashed potatoes. And then you need one of these. What is this called? A ladle. Grab this up. Place it down the middle of your potatoes. And then tip it like that so that it's a bowl of gravy to dip in. Doesn't that look good? Oh, I did not save enough room for the rest of our food. Don't you love it when your plate's so full? There's no room to put your fork down. I do. There you go. And, yep, you're going to touch these with your fingers. You know why? Because they're finger steaks. You're supposed to eat them with your damn fingers. There we go. All right. There you go. Orders up. See you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.